Raise your hand if you love the view on Lake Como. Welcome to another crazy ride and welcome to Menaggio in Italy, where we are now for our Italian lakes tour. And in this video we are showing you our top 5 things to do in Menaggio. I read somewhere that the lakes of northern Italy invite you to discover them, conquer them and fall head over heels in love with them. And as they are set in this idyllic hill and mountain landscape, we knew that we just had to come here for a Crazy Rides tour. Menaggio is often named the most liveliest town at Lake Como and even the most beautiful town in the whole of Italy, and perfect to start discovering Lake Como and the surrounding mountains. And because you can also get to Lake Lugano and Lake Maggiore from Menaggio, the perfect center point for our tour. The beating heart of Menaggio is this Piazza Garibaldi, situated between the lake and the Santo Stefano Church, our next stop. And from this piazza you can see that Menaggio has an old upper part with medieval alleys and the lakeside touristy with 19th century architecture. So almost 2 cities in one. The piazza already has some of the finest terraces in Menaggio, where you can have a drink or some food with a view on the lake. The Santo Stefano Church was built in the 18th century on the remains of earlier Roman buildings. And it has 3 naves and frescoes of Tagliaferro and some well-executed artwork by painters of the Lombard and Flemish school. It is probable that the Menaggio castle had its origin between the 8th and the 10th century. It was particularly strategic and its primary function was to control transit on the Via Regina from above, on the point where the route forked towards the upper lake and Lake Lugano. The fortress was almost impregnable, but after centuries destroyed during the occupation in 1523. And today it only gives a faint idea of how it would have been in the Middle Ages, but those thick walls are very impressive. And as you can see, these fairly new houses follow the contours of the original castle. On the ruins you can find the Chiesa de San Carlo with an elegant sailing bell tower in Spanish style, a reminder of the Spanish domination in the 15th and 16th century. And you can't see it from here, but you can from the city center of Menaggio. On the lakeside of Menaggio you can find this Monumento alla Tessitrice, the monument of the weaver. It's created in 1990 and often referred to as the monument with the most beautiful backdrop. At the top you can see the silhouette of a weaver at work in negative, while below is a succession of draperies falling to the ground. But of course, the place of interest of Menaggio is its beautiful location at Lake Como. And although it is said that Menaggio gears more towards the active tourist, you can definitely enjoy Menaggio after an active ride in a lazy way. You can have a little stroll along the lake, just sit and enjoy the views, maybe on the terrace with everything nice Italy has to offer, but you can also go swimming or boating. You can rent a boat or you can use the ferries, because the ferries are a great way of transport to visit the towns at Lake Como. And they will offer you great views on the towns, on the beautiful villas and the amazing surroundings. In summer, the ferries sail very regularly, are quite fast and not expensive. You can take a one-way or return ticket to one of the particular towns, or take a day ticket if you want to visit a few towns at Lake Como. And on a limited number of routes, there are also ferries that you can take your bike across the lake. Of course, we will share the link for more information on the ferries in our ebook. Although it can get busy in summer here in Menaggio, as it can in all the other towns at Lake Como, we think that Menaggio is the perfect center point for our Italian Lakes tour. And remember that you can download the ebook with the information on Menaggio if you add 1 or 2 rides of the Italian Lakes tour to your account. Of course, we also have videos on our rides here, and we have a video with our tips on where to stay in Menaggio. That will be in the middle of your screen if you want to keep going crazy now. And then we hope that you liked this video, and if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe and hit that bell as well, so we will see you on our next crazy ride. Cheers!